Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX with me, Devika Devan. This is a big NewsX exclusive. We have now spoken to former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, in her first telephonic interview since she left Bangladesh and her democratically elected government was overthrown. Let's quickly go to the first part of the conversation with her. I want to pick that up with our guests on the broadcast, Ambassador Deepak Vohra, former diplomat, and Major General Gigi Dwivedi, geopolitical expert, with us as well. Let me begin with Ambassador Vohra. Ambassador Vohra, sir, in the interview to NewsX, Sheikh Hasina has vowed to return to Bangladesh. Do you see this happening?
Right. Well, thank you very much, ma'am. Always a pleasure to be with you. And of course, learning from you is an experience. When you have General Dwivedi here, whose knowledge is much greater than mine. But thank you nevertheless. And congratulations to your outstanding channel for entering Sheikh Hasina's mind. I've met her several times. I don't know if I could have put it across as brilliantly as your channel has. Is she going to return? That's your question. She will. There's no question about it. She's a toughie. Remember that she was ousted illegally. And today, Bangladesh is an American expression. I shall modify it slightly. Bangladesh is up the creek without a paddle. In other words, she went out. She was illegally ousted. And the kids who came in, but so-called kids, they were all in their 60s and 70s, the instigators, including that 95-year-old chap who came and became the chief advisor. They've messed up whatever was left of the developmental train in Bangladesh. And they got into all kinds of rabid Islamic ideologies and so on. So my own feeling is she has to go. From what I see today, ma'am, she is Bangladesh's only hope to come back to the path of development and occupy its place in the international community of nations. One other thing I'd like to say, she was not ousted because whatever Gen XYZ was up in arms against her. She was ousted because people wanted her to go. And the fellow who was foisted on the people of Bangladesh, they knew, whoever brought him there, we know what he was. He was the cook of one of the American presidents, something like that. We know that he was foisted on them. And then he was there because they wanted also to tell India that, look, we have our sidekick there. We can instigate him to trouble you as and when we want. So Sheikh Hasina, if you are listening to this, ma'am, here's a well-wisher, former Indian ambassador saying, go back, your country needs it.
All right, but at the same time, when we talk about fairness in Bangladesh, sir, is that really possible for Sheikh Hasina at this point in time? Will she be treated fairly? Is it possible for her to have her sentence reversed?
Let me put it to you like this, ma'am. I've been ambassador in 6 countries. I've seen this before. Public memory is notoriously short. Because Bangladesh is in deep trouble economically, socially, financially, politically, and the Chinese are laughing all the way to the bank. Because that is happening to Bangladesh, people will say, oh, we were much better off during her time. And they would want her back. Because she brought stability. Bangladesh had credibility. Bangladesh was going very fast. The GDP was expanding, education system was growing, population was being controlled. But all that has, that's so much water now that has flown under the bridge. So I think people have forgotten people remember what she did, vaguely. She's been gone only a little while. But some say that we are in so much trouble now that anything would be better than the present regime. Therefore, public memory being notoriously short, she has every chance of coming back. I do believe that.
Ambassador Vohra, I also then want to understand from you, sir. Mr. Tariq Rahman has placed a great weightage on the extradition of Sheikh Hasina as one of the key conditions for his visit to India. What does this truly mean for India-Bangladesh relations? How do we do this balancing act, given that we have given safe haven to Sheikh Hasina, and rightly so?
The man doesn't know how to run a country. It's very easy to ride horseback and take over a regime, but dismounting and then trying to run the place is very difficult. You make one issue the basis, the fulcrum on which your entire relationship turns. That is ridiculous. We had this problem we had this challenge with our neighbor Afghanistan, also known as Pakistan, for years. We had this Kashmir issue, and yet we dealt with them. You can't hold your relationship hostage to a single issue. No, it doesn't happen. And I think somebody should tell this guy what the lesson of history is. As far as he's concerned, the lesson of history is that there is no lesson of history. We have a multifaceted relationship. If you're worried about her, put it in the locker. We'll talk about it. But you need energy from me. You need food from me. The Ganga River Water Treaty is coming up for renewal. You know, you can be in deep trouble should we decide to turn the screws. And don't be on your high horse and say, oh, without this, and Bangladesh can do this, and it'll go to China, I'll go to America, I'll go to Russia, I'll go to the moon. No, you have to have a realistic assessment of your capability, your potential, and your neighborhood.
All right, Ambassador Vohra, thank you so much for joining us with your perspective on this very important conversation that NewsX has had with Sheikh Hasina.